I'm also going live. Okay, perfect. Okay, so today's talk is about adapting lesson resources for differentiation. My name is Sami Al-Fadali, and I'm the Professional Development Manager at TP Leaders Academy with Discovery Education section in the company. Actually, TP Leaders Academy is the local partners for Discovery Education in Malaysia. We are the exclusive partners for Discovery Education in Malaysia. Today's topic, we are going to discuss what is differentiation in general, what are types of learners, and how to deal with each type of learners, and different methods to use the resources. And also we are going to talk about Discovery Education Board. In order to go directly into that point, I would like to show you how Discovery Education actually is going to make this job very easy for teachers and learners at the same time, in order to make their learning very effective. So that when it comes to differentiation, I believe that differentiation has so many, you can say, ideas about differentiation, because differentiation is one of the most topics in education that have been discussed. But in general, we can say that differentiation is about adapting content and processes, or even some products, to a specific student's readiness, based on readiness and interests. Of us know about differentiation when it comes to learners. We all know that learners have different types, and the type of learners based on VAK theory or any other different theories. Actually, VAK theory, I'm talking about VAK theory because VAK is one of the most common theories in differentiation or learner types. VAK, which means, or which is abbreviated for visualize, or auditory, or kinesthetic students. Most of us know about this, actually, and most of us know how much this is effective when we are talking about differentiation, or we are talking about making our lessons more effective into to our students. In this regard, I would like to show you how Discovery Education actually can help in this, because using technologies like this, and also performing our lessons using some ideas, some technological ideas like that, it will be very overwhelming in the future, and at the same time very effective. So let me share my screen right now to show you some of the features that are going to make our jobs easier in the future. I hope you can see my screen right now. Can you see my screen now? You can just leave a comment in the chat box.
Yes.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. What you can see right now in front of you all is something called Discovery Education Experience Platform. This platform actually is working as an LMS, or learning management system. At the same time, it is embedded or contains also resources. The thing is that here we have here resources like curated resources, tons of resources, thousands of resources that can help you very much in order to differentiate your learning. When we are talking about differentiation, the most important topic here is to deal with different learner types. And when it comes to learner types, let me just show you directly here. When we are searching for something just very simple like that, when you type here something like atomic or atomic theory, and search for atomic theory, And let's see how much the resources can be differentiated according to your students. So now let's talk about a visual student, for example, visual student or a student that is understanding much better by using the visual aids or the visual resources. So here we have like 449 results. And here we can differentiate the learning types or the level, so that let's say that we are talking about from grade 6 to 8, so that the results are going to be less. And here you can find here the types of resources we have. We have videos, images, text, boards, and more, audio, interactives, and lesson materials, and so on. So that, for example, if we are talking about atomic theory, or let's talk about something more general like atoms, and search for the items out of 3,268 results. Click on 6 to 8. And here we can find channels, videos, images, resources, text resources, boards, audio, interactive, lesson material, and professional learning for teachers. So let's say now we are talking about a visual student that we would like to differentiate the learning for, so that we are going to choose only videos, so that, look here, number of resources are going to be only 496 out of 3,000 something. So that here the teacher is going to curate the resources according to the student's needs, and will simply click here and can add to quick list. Add this resource to quick list. And also, not only videos, now we are talking about a visual student, so we can use images for that particular student, so that we can use these also the tons of resources that we are going to provide the student, but actually the teacher is going only to choose this particular image, and so on. But also the teacher wants that student to read something about the atoms, so that those types of students are going to also read some articles or some activity articles like these, and the teacher is going to choose an activity like that out of these hundreds of activity resources to read, add to quick list as well. So that when we go here, excuse me, when we go here in Discovery Education Platform or Discovery Experience Platform, we can find here one of the items or one of the buttons are going to be My Content, Studio, or Classroom, or Bystand, and so on. But also you can find here so many other items that are going to help you very much to go through the buttons very easily and very flexible. Now I'm going back. And here is the magic tool that I consider it actually like a magic tool, because by using this, we are going to be able to actually curate the resources and direct these resources to our students. This is called Studio Board. And the Studio Board actually is, as I said, it's like a magical tool for teachers in order to curate the resources particularly. So that now I'm going to create a new studio for my students, for these particular students now, because I'm always talking about differentiation. So now I will be clicking here on the slideshow. And now I'm going to use these resources that I have been stored in my quick list in order to use them now in Studio Board. So simply by this way, my students who are very interested in visualizing, or the students that are in need of videos and visual resources in order to understand the topic, now they are going to be able to find the curated resources for them. Excuse my connection. Okay, perfect. Here is the Studio Board. Actually, the Studio Board is, as I said, is a very simple way to use your resources. And I can consider it actually much easier in use than the PowerPoint, for example, because it is integrated with Discovery Education resources directly. So here we are going to just to add here from the plus sign, we can search directly from DE for resources to curate the resources and provide our students with the resources. Or we can add from quick list that we have stored our resources in, or we can even upload from our devices. We can upload from the computer, can upload from your PC or laptop or something. And even we are going to talk about each one of them, but later on. But now let's focus on something here. Let's put here the text and say atoms. And here are so many other editing options that we can use and so on. And then now I'm going to add one of the resources that I have just added. And I think this image I have just added from the resources to my particular student or students. I will add selected. Now, here it is. Simply, it have been added to the board. I can also manipulate all these features. And here also I can add one more text, like, what do you think this image is about? And add it here and leave it to that student or those students. And then we can add another page here, add another slide, blank slide for now. And also add a text here, but watch this video, and so on. Just add your instructions to students in order for them to see them. And then we can add from my quick list again, the video that I have just chosen, which was that one. And add selected. I can even select more than one interactive lesson. Okay. Here I can add also, I can even choose from here, I can leave the title and delete the rest, so that it will be only containing the title and that's it. I can also manipulate the size and so on. I can add one more. I can add here one more, but I would choose layout slide just to show you these templates that we can choose from. So let's say that we're going to choose this one and add here, watch this video and answer the following questions. Okay, and add here another video or another resource. But now I'll choose the resource from DE because I would like to show you also this option. Now I'll choose this from Discovery Education. As you can see now, I can add or search for atoms. Grade 6 and 8. But now actually I would choose an interactive lesson, an interactive resource like a virtual lab or a virtual experiment for those students in order to understand the topic. So I will choose this one. For example, it's an interactive lesson for those students. Choose this one about the atoms. And that's it. Now I will add another one or another page. But now I will add a blank page and add here a quiz item like short answer. So I will ask here a question for students. How do you define an atom? Okay. I will leave it here and add another question like a short answer. So what is the negative charged particle, like that. But this is a short answer. I don't want the short answer now. I need it a multiple choice. So I can delete this one. Okay, and add a multiple choice question, and add a multiple choice question here. And here's here electron. These are the options I'm adding. Proton, neutron, and so on. I can delete this one, no need for it now. And this will be the right answer, so I'll keep it ticked here. But if the right answer is here, I'll tick here, but this is the right answer, and so on. Once I add this now I can share actually this to my all students, but I don't want to share it to my all students actually, but I would like to curate it. I would like to give it to specific students based on my differentiated instruction, based on the students' needs actually. Now I'm going to provide this particular activity board in order for my instructions to be curated according to students' needs. Now I'm talking about students that they already need interactive lab session, video, and some sort of resources like the pictures. So I'll copy the link in order to have a copy for the link directly. I can now share to my students, but actually the sharing options are going to be very important. If I would like to assign it here, now I'm going to assign to my students. I'll put the assigned date and the due date, give a week or something like that, and select classroom. Now I'm going to select the classroom, the whole classroom. I can select the whole classroom to assign this to students. But actually, I also, this is the most important thing here, which is I can select from the list of students here. I don't have a list here, but you should be having a list of students that are going to be actually in your classroom. So that you're going to find out how to perform or to assign. Now just hit assign, and by this way it will be directed to a specific student that you choose. I think I have here some questions. Let me just read them. Up. Okay. Excellent. Okay, perfect. I don't want this session actually to be very long, and the nature of these sessions are not going to be very long. It will be like from 20 to 30 minutes maximum, because the thing is that we just want to give some tips for teachers in order to help them actually to manipulate their learning or to control their learning, especially in these days. Now we are talking about interactive learning that is very important for all students or for all teachers to cope up with the pandemic circumstances in Malaysia and all over the world, actually. Now, let's get back to here. I will click here, OK, and get back here directly to talk about the resources here in Discovery Education in general. As I told you before, that the most important thing in differentiation is the resources. We should be having different kinds of resources in order to be able to differentiate our instructions. Now, in this session, I have differentiated the instructions based on the visualize student. But sometimes, actually, when it comes to differentiation, it is very important for us as teachers to know the learning profile for each student, in order for us also to understand what they need in the future. Sometimes students are in need of articles in order for them to read. Some A students need articles to read. Some A or B plus students need articles and interactive lessons to perform. Some C students, or you can say also D students, they are in need of videos much more than articles to read, and so on. Curating your resources are very important, and in order to perform your curated resource, or to use your curated resources to the maximum level, you should be having some extracurricular resources and curricular resources at the same time. And what I'm saying here, Discovery Education can perform this very easily when it comes to resources. When you click here, for example, to find out the resources that Discovery Education is having, you can find here, when you click here, for example, let's see how many resources that we have. We have like 269,000 something results. And when you are curating our resource, not only in science, but also in mathematics, let's say that we are performing a search or performing a mathematics lesson about a triangle. Okay. I'm admitting some people. So now we have like 1,200 results for triangle, but now I just need to curate my resources here to 3 and 5 grade. And also, I don't need all the resources. As we said before, we have different types of resources. I'm repeating this for those who just came or just attending this session. We have videos, images, text, boards. As you can see here, here also we can see the boards. So here are some boards about the subject or the topic. But when we click here, more for interactive or audio, let's see how we can find, oh, we have here an audio for triangles. I don't want to waste time here because, as I told you before, it's going to be very short. But let's play like a few seconds.
It's time to get into a yoga pose. Time for a yoga pose.
Yeah, sometimes you can find audio that is spoken, or sometimes also you can find songs like that in science, mathematics, and also in social studies, and so on, so that you can find resources for all subjects that that you need, like science, mathematics, social studies, English language arts, and many other resources for subjects. Because here we have the subjects. When you click here on subjects, you can find science, social studies, English language arts, mathematics, career and workplace skills, visual and performing arts, and even multi-language resources for different languages when it comes to resources. So the resource hub here in Discovery Education is really important for every one of us to understand how to use them, and online, and even in blended context, because most of our schools now are using the blended learning, or online, or sometimes some sort of like mixing the two dimensions or the two types together. The thing is that here actually we have something very important that I would like to say, which is every one of you, of the attendees here now, are able to have an access to Discovery Education, free access to Discovery Education platform for 2 months. And the thing is, also is that we can provide you with like for 8 weeks free summer program to provide your students actually with resources for STEM, coding, and Discovery Education experience, because also we have STEM and coding resources that are going to help your students very much. I can provide you with the link right now so that I can write. Now I'm going to write down here, or I'm going to type it here. The link for you in order for you to actually get the access codes for, or to register your school actually. And once you register your students here in this link, Discovery Education is going to contact you in order to perform some arrangements to start the program. The program is going to be completely free. It is including the professional development for your team. It will be also including many other activities, STEM activities and coding. You'll be having also free access to coding, STEM, and Discovery Education Experience platform for up to 2 months. So I would like every one of you to apply in this important initiative by Discovery Education. This initiative is completely for free. What we are going to do with you actually is that we are going to perform some activities with Discovery Education. We are going to help Discovery Education in that if needed. But mainly this is going to be run by Discovery Education headquarters in the UK. I hope this session was interesting to you and was helpful to you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Would like to admit some people. Okay. Please let me know if you have any questions. Standards. Okay, regarding the standards, the resources actually, when it comes to resources, they can match any standards because what I'm talking about here is that you are going to find out the resources based on the topic that you would like to search for. So when it comes to resources, the resources can be going through any or can be helping you actually if you are using any standards. Hello? I got 4 emails from Sri today. Okay. So that if you are using any standards, okay, let me just mute because I think you must. Okay, perfect. So when it comes to standards, yeah, Discovery Education can be used in the UK standards, American standards. All the resources can be curated according to what you need because they are including content. They are including actually some sort of information and knowledge doesn't depend on the standards. So the resources are not actually depending on one standard, but they can be used in many standards. I hope this is very helpful to you. And again, here is the link. I would like to share it again in order for those who just joined us now to know what we are talking about. We are offering you 2 months free access to Discovery Education Coding, STEM Connect, and Discovery Education Experience. This will be including 4 weeks, or 8 weeks, professional development plan from Discovery Education to your teaching staff in the school, and also engaging your school in such activities, because this initiative is not only to the Malaysian market, it's also to all the other countries, so that engaging your students and teachers in such activity is very important, especially when it comes to summer holiday and so on. So please try to attend it, submit your school here, and Discovery Education is going to discuss that with you, and they will be contacting you very soon. I hope this was interesting. Thank you very much, and follow us because we are going to perform this bi-weekly. Mainly, it will be bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks on Tuesday, we are going to have a session like that for teachers and parents. Thank you very much, and have a great day.